Hey guys, Bonfire here. I'm coming to you today to do a little review on an e-cigarette. And I'm doing this because this is very important to me. I've had quite a bit of personal experience with me and some people that are very close to me. And had a wide range of different types. And this is one of the most successful e-cigarette cartridges that I've ever used. So I want to make sure and kind of let the world know, because I've been through the gambit. My grandmother was a smoker of 50 years. She used nicotine and smoked a pack to 2 packs of menthol cigarettes a day, every day, for 50 years. Absolutely unbelievable. After my grandfather passed, we finally convinced her to go to an e-cigarette. This was fantastic. It was very good news. And slowly but surely, over the course of a year, we totally weaned her off nicotine altogether. She was happy to be totally nicotine free, and now the only thing she does is vape flavor, absolutely zero nicotine. I personally was a smoker for 10 years. From 12 to 22 I smoked. Crazy, huh? I've been without nicotine for about 8 years now. And very happy about that. But at the same time, I still get those cravings. I still die for a cigarette when I'm sitting around my friends in bars or just hanging out and they're smoking. And it gets very frustrating. I've definitely been the chick that's had a buzz and been like, give me a drag of your cigarette, and immediately regretted it. I don't do that anymore, and thanks to Kingpin's Hitman, I'll never have to do it again. So first and foremost, KingpinEcigs.com is where you will find this little masterpiece. And here we have their large pack. In this pack, this nifty little case, what you will get: 2 batteries, 2 Clearomizers, a wall charger, a USB charger, and 3 replacement heads for your Clearomizer. The first thing that you want to do when you get them is charge them. It'll take 2 to 4 hours to get a full charge, and after they charge, they log. Other e-cigarettes that I have used, batteries will drain because there's no way to shut them off, or they're sitting in a purse, or they're sitting somewhere where the button's getting pushed, and next thing you know, you go for it and there's no battery. Very frustrating. These guys have a little locking mechanism. 1, 2, 3, 4, it's locked. 1, 2, 3, 4, it's back on. So we now have a live battery. So what I want to go through with you is how to work your cigarette. So after you've completely charged your cigarette, take your battery, take your head, put it together. First, make sure not to tighten this too much. Like anything, you can strip it and de-thread it. Just make sure that it's hand tight. You don't have to crank it down to where it's a problem to get back off. I know this because I have owned this for a moment. Once you have unlocked your cigarette, take off your top right here. Apparently I screwed on too tight the first time. Should only take 1.5 to 2 turns to take off this little top, okay? Put that down. And I already have flavor in here. I have caramel and coffee. And so what I'm going to put in there is just a little more caramel. Why not? Okay. You want to make sure and tip it to the side to put your fluid in. And drain it down the side of the Clearomizer, because you do not want it directly into that little head. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to kill the Clearomizer, but it will result in some popping and some really burnt flavor. You don't want that. Put the little tip back in. 1.5. Well, if I get it in right, 1.5, 2 turns, and it's down. I'm really showing stuff, aren't I? Okay. So, fluid's in. All the wicks have it all absorbed. Delicious caramel coffee flavor. With absolutely zero nicotine. Of course, if you're a smoker and you prefer nicotine, there are plenty of nicotine levels that you can choose from. Kingpin also offers 10 milliliter bottles that are pre-flavored, and 30 milliliter bottles that are pre-flavored. These run you starting at $6.95. The 30 milliliter bottles start out at $16.95. Pretty good savings. I know that I have used the mango. I've probably filled 6 or 7 of these, and I still have almost half of a bottle left. It does last a very extensive amount of time, as long as it's not all you're doing all day, of course. Now what I want to do is show you how to clean it. I think I may have messed up the first time. I had to go into the shop and have them show me what I was doing wrong, and it was really simple. It was totally user error on my fault for not checking what I was doing as I was doing it. So I want to make sure and kind of put that out there for you now too. Now when you go to clean your e-cigarette, you're going to disconnect the battery from the cartomizer. Okay, this is one that I obviously don't have filled yet. Once you disconnect it from your cartomizer, you're going to unscrew it here and pull it apart. It'll take quite a few turns on this one. This one's actually locked down pretty tight. And pull it apart. Okay? Now, you will take and turn this head off. This head will come completely off. Got a little juice on it, and I don't want to get it all over my hand, so I'm not going to. But once you pull that off, it's going to look like this. These are things I should have ready before my review, huh? It's going to look like this. Okay. Now what you want to do is make sure that this little rubber gasket right here on the end is positioned all the way at the top, so that you've got a good seal and you don't have to worry about any fluid going directly down. You've got bubbles in it, and then you've got that nasty burnt flavor. And then you have to clean it, and that's no fun. So once you have taken off your head, you can clean it out with water. There's a number of different ways of cleaning it. I absolutely prefer to run it through with water, clean it really good, and then run it through very well with alcohol and let it dry. That way there's no residues or anything, and it totally evaporates and clean for me. You'll replace this little top, making sure that that gasket's there and very good. Put this back on it. And what I have learned to do is twist this a bit so that it puts the threads off to the side and I don't have to worry about getting any of them caught. Push down. You're going to give it quite a few turns. This one you can't really tighten too tight. Once it's there, it's there. And you got yourself a clean cartomizer. It's really rather simple. You just want to make sure that their gaskets are all in the right spot. And if you are using nicotine, please make sure to use gloves when you are cleaning the device or filling the device. Like anything, if you are aware, nicotine is a drug. Nicotine in high doses can kill you. It's hard to get nicotine exposure except directly through the skin. So that's going to kill you anyway. So if you are using nicotine levels, make sure and use gloves or something when you are filling or cleaning your device, and wash your hands afterwards. I'm not using any nicotine, so I get this stuff all over me all the time, just because I'm clumsy. And you have yourself a new e-cigarette. So we'll take off this guy. I'll show you one more time with a new one, since this one's not full and I've just put it all back together. There's my mango. Got coffee in the other one. Might as well have mango in this one, right? Off to the side. Just a few little tips. And you need to make sure that you don't, if you can see there, if I can get it tilted properly. No, it's not going to show you. There are lines. They'll tell you exactly how much you have in there, and you shouldn't put more than like 1.6 milliliters, I believe is what it is. There's a top line that says, obviously don't fill past that level. It's just a safety level, so make sure not to do that. You really don't need very much in there to get it to work. Put the top back down on her. 1.5 turns. She's already unlocked. Ah, mango is so good. So delicious. But there you have it. Kingpin ecigs.com, KingPineCigs.com is where you will find a vast variety of flavors and nicotine levels and little packages and stuff. They even have chrome batteries and red batteries for those of us who want to be fancy, which I just want a set of chrome batteries because that just looks sleek, right? So yeah, guys, there you have it. Kingpin, e-cigarettes, Hitman, pretty fantastic product. I have been through the gambit with e-cigarettes. The disposable ones are extremely expensive, and you never know what nicotine level you're getting, and sometimes they don't even work after you buy them, and they won't replace them. If they don't work, you're screwed. So most of the time you spent $10 on something that's not going to work. The disposables that have the screw-off head that you can just replace the head and change those out, I've had problems with those. A lot of the disposable heads want to leak, or the batteries on those go out profusely. They just die. I think my grandmother went through 3 or 4 of those before we finally found her one of these. There are other cigarettes similar to this on the market, and they all fill very differently. I've been through that as well. The problem with the ones that I have found that fill like or similar to these is that they fill through the head. So you take the head off, you fill up the head, and put it back on, and the stuff will drain down into it. The problem with that is that if you're using a nicotine level and there's any residue left in the head of that, then you're putting it directly into your mouth. So there's no vapor, you're literally ingesting nicotine. That's horrible. So this is the most efficient and safe delivery method I have experienced yet, and like I said, I've been through quite a few, as well as my grandmother has. So, good luck, guys. I hope you got a little bit of help from this review, and good luck. I hope you're out there and trying to quit smoking and killing yourself every day. So, Kingpin, Hitman.